Hey, what's going on YouTube? It's Games from Almost in Full Color. Today I figured I'd go ahead and put out a video about my first thoughts on the Nintendo online service. Now, it's a good and bad thing in my eyes. The bad is pretty much Nintendo's continuously milking us for the same old games that they've released on the 3DS, the Wii, the Wii U, and now finally the Switch. So, yeah, I don't get to carry any of my old purchases over to the new Nintendo Switch, not even a few. But the good is that I finally get to play these old games that I've been waiting to play on the Switch since I pretty much got it. I mean, the Switch is a perfect console for those old school games just to be on and you can enjoy out and about while you're either on the train or whatever you may be doing. Now, granted, they only give you 15 games, so it's not a lot of games up front. Some of them are like timeless classics, like the Verse Super Mario Brothers, and then you have Super Mario Brothers 3, which is regarded as probably the greatest Mario game ever made. You have some games on there for sports, like you have baseball and you have soccer. Those are literally the names of the game. Baseball isn't too bad. Soccer, I completely hated soccer. Um, but they do have Tecmo Bowl on there. So anyone who's familiar with Tecmo Bowl, just know Bo still knows football. I definitely had to confirm that on that game. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive in and let's talk about some of these games. Okay, and here are the games. You have Balloon Fight, Baseball, Donkey Kong, Double Dragon, Dr. Mario, Excite Bike, Ghosts and Goblins, Gradius, Ice Climber, Ice Hockey, the first Mario Bros, Pro Wrestling, River City Ransom, Soccer, Super Mario Bros, Super Mario Brothers 3, Tecmo Bowl, Tennis, Zelda, and Yoshi. And here's Balloon Fight. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever played this game, so bear with me. I pretty much was learning on the fly. Which is funny though, the game is actually pretty entertaining. It's a pretty simple game. All you do is pretty much fly around and pop their balloons. As you see, if you pop their balloons and they land on the ground, you have to go down and hit them again to like finish them off. Um, if they hit you and you lose a balloon, it becomes a little difficult to elevate and move around. You do a lot slower. But yeah, besides that, I mean, the game's definitely a good time killer. This here is one of the bonus stages in the game. So instead of fighting enemies, you pretty much just float around and collect balloons. Now here we have baseball. Not MLB baseball, just baseball. For the teams, I didn't know what these were, so I just figured that was Yankees for Y and Dodgers for D. So I picked the Yankees. I definitely didn't know that I was pitching at first. So I thought I was batting, and I still sucked at the game. So it really doesn't matter. It's not an excuse, but that's what was going on. Now, I definitely wouldn't classify this as a bad game, but it's not a great sports game either. I mean, it's just baseball. It is what it says it is. But if you want to kill some time and you really nostalgic for old sports games, then this is your game. And here we have Donkey Kong. Everybody remembers Donkey Kong. And it's still just as fun as I remember it. So I played this one quite a while. I didn't put all the footage on here because I think I played for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. I didn't get that far. But I did have a lot of fun playing the game, and it definitely reminded me of all the nostalgia. Um, there's really no lag or anything. The game plays really well. Um, so I'm not dying because of lag. I'm just dying because I suck. But yeah, this one is definitely everything it was and looks really good on the Switch. So no complaints here. Also, if you're curious, this is as far as I got in the game. And if you're not privy to what stage this is, it's the second stage. That's as far as I got in 2 hours. So yeah, it was a rough sledding. And here's Double Dragon. This was one of my more favorite games on the Nintendo. Look at that. Mm, dirtbag. Well, anyway, this game I actually did a lot better in. I mean, I remember playing this and I put a lot of time in this game. But I didn't remember that every time you hit the computer, they pretty much hit you. I took a little while before I figured out that the kick was better than the punch. But other than that, it was a pretty good game. Now in this game, you can pick up weapons that the enemies drop. You can use those weapons and just hit them for a little more damage, or you can throw the weapon at them for like it's not really a one-hit kill, but it's a one-hit knockdown. I was surprised I even remembered you could climb on that, to be honest. I didn't know what was going on, and then I realized, oh, I'm in some semi-boss fight. But the buttons and the controls in the game, really good. Like I said, no lag, just like the rest of the game so far. Honestly, this game alone is worth the $3.99 I paid for the month. This game would probably ran me like $5 on the 3DS or on Nintendo Wii back when they had the Virtual Console. So, just me getting this game definitely justified the price. And here we have Dr. Mario. I never played Dr. Mario on the Nintendo. So this whole menu, I had no idea what it was doing. I think I picked the level too high because I clearly had no idea how to play a game. I really didn't enjoy the game, to be honest. It was like a bad Tetris, but that was probably because I didn't know what I was doing. So if you like this game, more power to you, but it's definitely not my cup of tea. But what I did gather playing the game was that you're supposed to take out these little virus things with the same color, I guess, antibiotics. So it took a while, but I did slowly start to learn how to play the game. When I did, I would say I'd give it one grade better. So from a D to a C. But it's just not my thing. Here's Excite Bike. I picked a random track because I couldn't remember which one each track was. And it really didn't matter. I mean, I love the game either way. It's definitely a fun play. If you want to play something for a little bit of time or a lot of time, it doesn't matter. This is the perfect game. As with the rest of the games, controls are great. And this is another one of those games that definitely justifies the $3.99. Definitely justifies the $20 a year. So, we're going off to a good start. A couple games I didn't really enjoy, but these games, they make up for it. And they remind me why I paid that money to be able to play them again on the Nintendo Switch. Because I had this game on a couple other consoles. Now, if you've never played this game and you're new to it and you don't really know what's going on, pretty much all you're doing is trying to get through the track as fast as possible. It's almost like a time trial. So that's pretty much the goal. You're not racing against someone on the track. It's pretty much you against the clock. So if you haven't played it, I definitely recommend it. I mean, it's only 1 month, $4. It's definitely worth the price. Ghosts and Goblins. What can I say about this game that hasn't already been said? It's hard. It's super hard. It's so hard that I didn't make it past the first stage. I didn't even come close. As soon as I got to the little red devil, it was a wrap. There was no further progress to be made. So if you're looking for a challenge, this is the game for you. Look no further, because it's going to challenge the hell out of you and frustrate the hell out of you. Well, at least it did to me. So, if you've never played this game, pretty much right there at the beginning, Satan stole the princess, or stole your girlfriend, and whatever your guys were doing in the graveyard, it's between you two. It's probably why Satan came and grabbed her. Y'all was sinning. But anyway, back to the game. Oh, damn. As you can see, I just got this fire. Never ever get the fire. If you never played this game, only use the starting weapon and the knife. So don't get the fire. Now the fire is not too bad if you don't let it hit the ground. If you let both fires hit the ground, you can't throw it again until the fire burns out, which definitely leads to death. So if you're wondering, there is no health bar. You get 2 hits. You get 1 hit with your armor, you get hit there, you're in your draws. You get hit again, you're in the ground. You're dead. So as you can see, I spent a lot of time in my draws and a lot of time in the ground. For as hard as this game is, somehow it's still a great game. And it still remains fun. Like, I enjoyed playing it, but it was extremely frustrating. And I hate it at the same time. So I can't really describe it, but it's like a good pain. And here we have Gradius. I've enjoyed these games over the years, from Gradius 1, 2, 3. They've all been good games. One thing this game reminds me of, that you can't just hold the A button. Well, you can, but it doesn't shoot as fast. So you have to keep hitting the A button to shoot for like optimum speed. And then, I haven't played in a while, but my first point to anyone who does play, all the first maybe 3 or 4 power-ups should be speed, because you move god awful slow at the beginning of this game. So for people who haven't played this game, it's just like any other shooter, except for you can level up on the fly. And by level up, I mean you can acquire new weapons, speed up the ship, you can get shields. So what the goal is, to shoot all the enemies that have red. If they're a red enemy, that means they drop like a upgrade point. So when you pick it up, you'll notice the bar on the bottom will advance to the next stage. The farther towards the end, that means that the power-up is a little more powerful, for lack of a better word. And then whenever you get to the stage you want to be at, and say you want laser, you just hit B, and then you're automatically equipped with the laser. Now when you get to the end of the stage, there's a boss fight, and you just have to fight him, kill him, you go to the next stage. Simple as that. But the game is a great one. So if you haven't played it, or if you played it in a long time, I definitely suggest getting this Nintendo service so you can play this game again for the cheap. Ice Climber. I really didn't know much about this game. Honestly, the first time I even knew the Ice Climbers existed was for Super Smash Bros. For the 64. But I did give this one a shot. I said I'd play all the games on here just to see how they work. Now, this game isn't, to me, it's a great game. But it's a fun game. It's a simple game. It was simple for me until I got to the bonus areas. I never could get to the top of the bonus area. Then again, it was my first time playing the game, so I feel like I did pretty well. It didn't seem to be an overly difficult game. Probably gets a lot more difficult as the levels progress. But yeah, so I mean, if you're like me, you haven't played it before, I recommend playing it. Definitely, since it's part of the library. It wouldn't be something I would recommend buying separately, like on the virtual console. But since it's part of the collection, I mean, why not give it a shot? And here we have ice hockey. I picked Canada because I figured Canadians good at hockey. I don't play hockey games, I don't watch hockey, so I have no idea what teams are good and which ones aren't. And I especially wouldn't remember way back in Nintendo days what teams were good. This area, I didn't know what was going on, so I just picked in. The game is not bad. I'm not a big hockey guy. I did not like the fact that you pretty much control the goalie at the same time you control the other characters on the screen. He's like tethered to you while you move around, so you have to, if you're paying attention to the puck, trying to defend the puck with a player, you have to realize that when you're moving up and down, you're moving your goalie as well. So you don't want to move him too out of position, and then there's a point where you have to stop paying attention to what you're doing with that player and just focus on the goalie's movements. Now again, this game really isn't for me. I definitely will skip it in the future. But if you're looking for some hockey nostalgia and you really love hockey, I guess this could be a good game to play. Mario Brothers, the first one. some people might not even know about this game. You think Super Mario Brothers was the first one? No, this was the first. Honestly, playing by yourself, the game's extremely boring to me. Uh, you can play with two players. I would recommend playing with two players. At least it gives you the ability to try to mess each other up and kill each other. And that's pretty much the only excitement I feel like you're gonna get out this game. Um, the goal really is to just collect coins. Kick off these little turtles and collect coins. Pro wrestling. This game is just as bland as the name. The fighters are nobody you'll know, and the gameplay is eh. I really don't know how else to describe it. So you see here, all the characters are just generic things. I went through it, figured I'd be Starman, because he's pink. So, yeah, this is pretty much it. Yeah, I spent most of my time trying to figure out how to play. Just kicking each other down. Apparently the kick just drops you. This game really, honestly, isn't worth much time to talk about. I don't see many people playing this and actually enjoying it. I didn't enjoy it. So let's move on. River City Ransom. This game is definitely maybe the best beat 'em up on the Nintendo. This is another one of those games that definitely justifies the price that Nintendo's charging for this online service. This game alone is definitely worth the $4. Worth more than that, really. You can pick up weapons as you see. You can throw the weapon as well. The controls, the hitboxes, everything is just really good on this game. I found myself playing this for a few hours. And you notice you're picking up these coins. The coins can be used to upgrade your character when you get to shops later on in the game. You can go buy food and other little snacks that will upgrade your character's willpower, his strength, stuff like that. So it really adds like an RPG element to the game because you can level up as you go along. So it's a little different than maybe like a Streets of Rage or other beat 'em up games or Turtles in Time for another example. You can kind of level up as you go. So if you do decide to get the Nintendo Online service, this one's a must play. If you haven't played it or if you have played it, you definitely need to play this one. It's worth it. Soccer. I hate soccer in real life, and this game just reinforced that hatred. Honestly, to me, it's not a good game. I've played soccer games. I don't like the sport soccer, but the games are actually good, like FIFA. I don't remember the one that was on the Sega Saturn, but that was actually a good one. It was called like World Championship Soccer or something. This game, it's not a good one. It's a bad game. It's bad all the way around. Moves super slow. I could never figure out the controls of how to actually kick the ball. So, this is a definite skip. Super Mario Brothers. What can I say about this that hasn't already been said? This is a great one. This is a great game. I mean, everyone knows Super Mario Brothers. It's the first game you had on Nintendo. First game I had. This doesn't come with Duck Hunt. It's just regular Super Mario. I really don't want to spend a lot of time on this one because everyone knows it's a good game. Once you see it, you're going to play it again. You, maybe a friend. I mean, it's a good one. And here we have Super Mario Bros. 3. This one will come in second place. My favorite Super Mario game of all time is still Super Mario 64. But Super Mario 3 is definitely a close second. Like, this game really set the mark for Mario with the ability to pretty much have an inventory of mushrooms, stars, ice climber suits, frog suits, as the leaf you just seen. I mean, there's really no end to what Mario could do in this game. This is another one of those games where there's not much to say about it because the game speaks for itself. It's a great game. If you get this online service, you're going to play this game and it's definitely going to be your money's worth. And we have Tecmo Bowl. Tecmo Bowl is definitely the best sports game on this service so far anyway. I mean, they could release better ones coming down the line, But Tecmo Bowl is definitely a top football game on the Nintendo. As you've seen, I had to pick LA because Bo knows football, and Bo is still a human cheat code in this game. You get Bo the ball, he's super fast. And here's just a little proof of Bo at his finest. And that definitely isn't Bo celebrating right there. Now, I know I said Tecmo Bowl was the first best sports game on here, but this tennis game is actually the second best. It took a little bit of time for me to learn how to play it, but other than that, it actually turned out to be pretty fun. So, weirdly enough, even though I never played this game when it was actually released on the Nintendo, this was my first time playing it, it was pretty fun. Like, I definitely found myself playing this longer than I expected I would. So if you're looking for a game that's pre-Mario Tennis, this is a good one. This is something you could actually play in a little bit of downtime and actually have fun. Since there's not many instances of me winning throughout this, I guess, look back or look on, I figured I'd go ahead and include this clip of me winning. Take that, computer. The Legend of Zelda. The game that when I was a kid, I thought the whole goal was to just get as many rupees as you possibly could. Because when I was a kid, I had zero idea of what to do in this game. But now that I'm older, I really appreciate how good this game actually was in its time. It definitely was groundbreaking for a Nintendo game to have this much scale to it, this much you could do. It's most people's, well, I wouldn't say most people's, but a lot of people do consider this the best Zelda game of all time. Me, I actually don't consider it that, and I don't consider Breath of the Wild the best either. Ocarina of Time for the 64 is still the best Zelda game to me, but this game definitely looks good on a Nintendo Switch on a small screen. It looks good on a big screen as well if you have it docked. So if you've been living under a rock and you've never played this game, then I definitely recommend you go back and play it. Also another game that just justifies the already cheap price Nintendo's charging for this service. So this combined with the other games that I've already shown off, definitely you're getting more than your money's worth. Even with this somewhat small selection of 15 games, at least they put in some good ones. And last but certainly not least, although it's very close to being the least, is Yoshi. Never played this game before, and it shows. Also, this game has pretty much nothing to do with Yoshi at all. So if you're familiar with the Yoshi Island games, this is not Yoshi's Island. This is Mario, spinning plates, collecting various enemies and objects, I guess. I'm guessing it's kind of like a Dr. Mario or Tetris. The game really wasn't fun at all. It took a while for me to figure out what to do with these falling Yoshi eggs. If you notice, there's one Yoshi egg that's kind of the bottom half. The other Yoshi egg is the top half. So the goal is, I guess, if you get a bunch of enemies that don't match up, like say the little squid, Goomba, and maybe a couple plants. If you can get the Yoshi egg under the bottom of those, the bottom half, if you put the top Yoshi egg on the top half, the egg kind of collapses onto itself and erases all of those characters for you. And then you get a little Yoshi animation like you just saw. But besides that Yoshi animation and the little Yoshi on the side that keeps count of the eggs that you hatch successfully, that's pretty much all of Yoshi's involvement in this game. I don't feel like it's a good game. Probably will never ever play it again. And if they took it off of the library of games, you wouldn't hear me complaining. Now, if you don't have someone in your house with you or just a friend that comes over, you can play these games two-player online. So if you have friends, as you can see, I have no friends on my Nintendo Switch, you can play online. And here are a few of the filters you can play the games in if you want that nostalgia feel. Okay guys, so pretty much there you have it. Like I said, I didn't want to spend too much time on each game because there's 15 games. If I did that, we'd be here all night, and honestly, some of them really deserve zero time. Like soccer, I hate that game. But anyway, the Nintendo Switch Online service is $20 for the year, or you can pay like $4 a month. I did the $3.99, technically $4 a month trial period, just because I wanted to see what games were on there and how much I'd actually like it. So I'm definitely gonna go ahead and do the $20 for the whole year and bring out more videos as they add new content to the library and just see if it's still really worth $20 a year. Granted, that's less than $2 a month, so it's like, if they just bring out games, it's still worth it. Like, it's so cheap that the quality doesn't have to be there as much as, say, the PlayStation Online experience or the Xbox Online, because they're charging you a third. Yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to more games. Crossing my fingers that we'll get some Super Nintendo games and Super Mario RPG will be included, because I'm sure you don't know, but now you will, that is my favorite game of all time. Hands down, that's my favorite. So yeah, so just waiting, and as they bring out more games, I'll continue to bring content on that and just give you my thoughts on the games that got released. But as always, see you guys next time. Thanks for supporting the channel. Hey everyone, thanks for checking out the video as always, and please leave comments below to let us know what we can work on or what you might like to see next come out for the channel. Please check down in the description as well. You can see myself and the other content creators' Twitch accounts. Please also look to the left. There's a couple of social media accounts that'll keep you up to date with new content coming out on the channel. But as always, please subscribe here and make sure you hit the bell so that you'll be notified when new videos come out.